Hey guys, how's it going? Good to see you all for the second half version of this collaboration. Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0. Timo Werner with the easiest of finishes, but a goal is a goal. And so far, Tuchel's decision to put Pulisic on the bench seems to be justified because they are a goal up. So will we see him in the second half? I think we will, very likely, especially as Real Madrid push forward and try to get a goal. They're going to leave spaces behind them, and Pulisic can exploit them. I'm here with Filippo. We were over, for those of you who don't know, we were over on his channel for the first half. It's been a fun game. Before we get into it, guys, let me just have a quick word here from our sponsor, OneFootball.
Sponsor. OneFootball is an app that allows you to get all of your news, transfers, stats, and in-match updates from over 160 leagues in over 60 countries. I've been using this app for the last few weeks, and here's what I love about it. I can select the teams that I love, in this case, the USMNT, and with one click, I'll have access to all the news about the teams, statistics from past games, lineups, information about future games, as well as who is part of the roster. I can also do the same thing for specific players, select the ones that I want to follow, and I'll be able to track that player's data, performance, and stats throughout the season for both club and country. So check out the app, guys. OneFootball. Click the link in the description below to download the app directly and start getting all the information you need about the players and teams that you love.
All right, so thanks again to OneFootball, guys. Their link is below, like I said. Go check it out, download it. I'm loving the app. It's really great. Yes, Carter, new haircut. That's right. All right, how are we doing? How's everybody feeling about the second half? Let us know your predictions. Smash the like button, guys. If you haven't done that already, smash it. Filippo is going to be with us for a few minutes at least before he has to run off to work and actually coach soccer instead of just talking about it. So how do you give us your thoughts on the first half, Filippo? Well, you're the Jamie Carragher of this.
So the first thing, I think Real Madrid controlled most of the match. Chelsea was dangerous when they were up top and they got that goal. I think Real Madrid they just need to finish the opportunity. They had 4 or 5 opportunities that I remember right now. Maybe there was more because I was looking at the screen in here. But they controlled the midfield well. Modric continues to dictate the tempo in the midfield as always. But it just seems like Chelsea's very well positioned in the back as well. They're not allowing Vini Jr. and Hazard to do anything. That's a big plus. Vini Jr. has one play. It's put the ball up top and try to pace himself into it. It's not working. They're always covering him. They always have the wing back on him and the center back covering on the 3 defender formation. I thought Real Madrid was the favorite before it started. Based on what I saw, I still think you can't count Real Madrid out, and I still think Real Madrid is looking more dangerous and more promising if it goes the same way.
Yeah, I really think I think what's going to end up happening is Real Madrid is going to be pushing forward for a goal, and then Chelsea is going to hit them on the counterattack, and it's going to be 2-0. Hopefully that is from Pulisic. They bring him on. Pulisic comes on the second half, takes advantage of the space on transition to get in behind and score. All right. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I just got this jersey new from US Soccer. Paid $70 for it. Actually, I got it on Amazon. Because Amazon, you can get just discounted prices. Don't buy it off the US Soccer store. That's too expensive.
It's so weird.
Yeah. What?
It's so weird.
Dude, the prices are nuts. It's $170 for the latest USA jersey on the US Soccer store. Isn't that nuts for a team? This isn't Brazil. You know what I mean? This is a team that didn't qualify for the last World Cup, didn't win the last Gold Cup, and now hasn't qualified for the Olympics. And fans are expected to pay $170 for a jersey? For what? Man, really overprice it.
Even Brazil's not that much.
No. This is the thing. A USSF, it's all about money. It's not about growing the game. Imagine if you made it cheap and more people could afford it, you would see people walking around the streets wearing USA jerseys. And that's free advertising for your brand. But instead, they'd rather charge a ridiculous amounts of money so the diehards who have to buy it because they love the team, so they can make more profit margins off of them. That's very SSF.
Yeah, $170 I wouldn't pay. I just wouldn't.
I wouldn't pay it either. No, I don't care how much. Even if you win the World Cup, I probably wouldn't pay that.
No. I would. The jacket that I got, the sweat jacket, whatever you call it, sweatshirt, whatever it is. I got it on a sale. It was like $50, $60. That was worth it for
Yeah, that's my range. If I'll pay $50 to $70 for a jersey, but definitely not more. Okay, we got a good question here from just Alex. Would you compare the US to Belgium in the last World Cup or 2 World Cups ago in regards to us being young and having high potential? Yes, that's actually a very good comparison. The US in 2022 will be like Belgium in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
The team that beat us 2-1, and then they lost to Argentina in the quarterfinal 1-0. So that's about the level that we're at. Belgium was getting better, but they weren't in their prime yet, right? The last World Cup, Belgium was in their prime. And where did they get? What did they get? Third place.
Yeah.
Semi-final, and then a third place playoff win. So they got third, which is the bronze medal in the World Cup. That's great. Honestly, if we get to the quarterfinals in 2022, and then we get to the semi and get third place in 2026, I'll take that. I think that's a fair way to put it, So, yeah, I think Belgium. And while we're on the topic of Belgium, I actually think that Belgium, everyone's like, oh, now Belgium's very good. I actually just think Belgium had a golden generation. But if you look at the young players that are coming through, they're not the same level. Like, they built this golden generation. Eden Hazard, Vincent Kompany, Thomas Vermaelen, Toby Alderweireld, all these guys, Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, all of these top players. And the guys coming through are not at that level. So I think Belgium will still be good. I just don't think they'll be at the same level they were the last 2 World Cups. That's just my opinion.
The thing too is that's something that Pete was saying, how Belgium has a golden generation. I don't expect this to be the US's golden generation. Golden generations are very common among small countries. Belgium is a small country population wise. Chile had a golden generation. You see Colombia having it in the 90s. So even though they had it again, the only nation that has had several good teams and is very small is Netherlands. They had it in the 70s, the 90s, the 2010s. But the US, we should always have a team like this one, or better.
Yeah, or better. And we will. If you look at the way we're developing players now, it's going to be a cycle. That every year you're going to have 2 or 3 players going to Europe who are really good. So it's going to be tougher and tougher for these young guys, your Cade Cowles, your Gianluca Bussios. It's going to be tougher and tougher for them to break into the national team because the national team is going to be so stacked already. So this is why we should be able to go this summer and win the Gold Cup and win Nations League, in my opinion, because we're that deep. So you just have to get our coaching and rosters sorted out. All right. England had a golden generation, small country.
They never had any good generation. Don't even get me started.
They were good.
Don't even get me started on that one. That was Brazil's World Cup.
Also, they were heavily favored. The referee made some pretty big boo-boos in the final. So, all right. The anti-American bias in Europe is real. Oh God, they always want to talk about this. Let's see. Give me some intelligent questions, guys.
There's one here, Pete, that if you want to, I can address it. Because so Daniel Semino, he asked, where do you rate the Peruvian national team? I don't know if you watch them very much.
Not really.
So I watched them quite a bit. The thing with the Peruvian national team is compared to even Colombia, not the best, like compared to Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia, they are not as technical. They're not as good. But under Gareca, ever since Gareca took over, they became tactically impeccable. And they have some good players here and there. Like Rui Diaz is a bench player there, for example. Rui Diaz. The thing with them is they rely on having perfect matches to get results. It's not on the flair or the talent. The team is okay. I don't think Peru will make it to the World Cup. Again, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, interesting. Good question here from Carter. Pete, thoughts on the Costa Rica friendly? So in case you guys didn't see it, I put it on Twitter. The U.S. is supposed to play in Rio Tinto Stadium in Real Salt Lake on the 9th of June against – I'm starting to hear some echo from your end. Is that you?
I don't hear echo. They're saying they hear echo?
No, I was hearing it. But I don't hear it anymore. Maybe it was just for a second. So we're playing Costa Rica in a friendly after the Nations League, which for me is good. Okay? That's 4 games in a row. We should take our A team and have them play those games. I would suggest resting the A team for the Switzerland game, and having the subs play that game, just because I don't think they should be playing 90 minutes 4 days before a semifinal where there's a transatlantic travel and a flight. And we're playing at altitude in Colorado. So I'm fine with friendlies after the Nations League. That's good. Play a friendly, get ready for the World Cup. Hopefully you've won something. Hopefully you go into that friendly with a trophy, because now you're giving something like almost a victory lap for your fans. If you go to that Costa Rica friendly without a trophy, that's a whole different story. What's weird is, okay, on the off chance that Costa Rica, let's say the U.S. beats Honduras in the semifinal, and Costa Rica beats Mexico in their semifinal, and the U.S. plays Costa Rica in the final, and then again 4 days later in a friendly, 3 days later in a friendly.
That would be. I think that they scheduled this assuming Mexico and the U.S. will win.
Yeah, but we can't assume that, right? It should be the final. But if we get too overconfident, if we look ahead to Mexico and underestimate Honduras, we do that to our detriment. Remember the last time we underestimated Trinidad and Tobago, So, yes, Sahil Kotian. In hindsight, scheduling the Switzerland game was a questionable decision. Yes, it was. And I said this before. Why are we scheduling that game? It doesn't make any sense to me. All right, Connor Nolan. Are you British, Connor?
Well, he's been in our channel. Remember him?
Yeah.
You met him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. When we played Northern Ireland. Sorry, Connor. Yes, I remember you now. Anyone in the chat who's not subscribed to Pete's channel, do it now. Enjoy the second half, guys. Thank you, Connor. And yes, very good advice, everybody. Subscribe to my channel. Connor, good to see you here, bud. Are you is he a big USMNT guy?
He's been following a little more. Me and Connor talk about it a lot. He's going to be on the DK video as well to talk a little about the championship. But I would say Connor's following the USMNT more because of us now.
Oh, okay. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you, Connor. Appreciate it. From Carter Hazlitt. Pete, why don't the U.S. have youth camps? Oh, man. Don't even get me started. I want to say incompetence. I really do, because I don't think there's any reason to not have to have camps. At least a U20 camp. If you're worried about kids getting COVID, which would not happen if you test them, you could at least do a U20 camp, because those guys are eligible for the vaccine. So there's no reason to not have camps except incompetence. Okay? How dare you not remember me, Pete? How can I take my money back? Only kidding. Sorry, dude. No, I'm not as good with thumbnail faces. I think if I saw you in person, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I remember you now. Here's one for Filippo. Is the decline in South American soccer real? And if so, what is the solution? How do other regions combat Europe's financial dominance?
Does he mean by the soccer clubs or nations?
I don't know. My guess is clubs, because he's talking about money.
Well, clubs, you don't fight it. You can't fight it. You surrender to it. There's no way to fight it right now. The only country that could fight it is America, the United States, the only country of money. The countries in South America, unfortunately, even Brazil, we're broke. That's the thing. We're broke. They don't have enough money. Brazil is probably the richest one in South America. There's not enough money. And the euro coin and the dollar are so much stronger that you're even seeing MLS clubs take away Brazilian stars. Brenner was a starter for São Paulo. Soltedo went to Toronto. He was a starter for Santos that was in the Libertadores final. So you don't fight it. In a club level, it's just going to get worse. In a national team level, I don't think it's that much worse. Brazil's still very competitive. It's just going through a rougher patch. But in a club level, we don't fight it.
Yeah, and this is where the U.S. could become like MLS. If they would let themselves spend, we could be the best league in the Americas easily. If MLS would spend, but they refuse to spend, so they don't want to be. Thank you, Sese. Pete and Tactical, thanks for all the content. Thank you, man. We appreciate your support. It means a lot to us, Yeah, so thank you. We do what we can. We're just passionate fans like you guys, and we think that there's a vacuum for good analysis and content. So that's what led us to do this, and it's very rewarding. Oh, Havertz. What you got? Nice little nutmeg there. Honestly, Madrid did not come out firing like I thought they would. I thought they would come out really aggressive and attacking.
They're even a little deep.
Yeah, they're sitting kind of deep, which is unless that's a tactical game plan. Maybe Zidane is like, you know what? Draw Chelsea out. We're going to sit deep for the first 10 minutes, draw them out, and then we got to hit them quicker on the counter. That would be my guess. Why don't they spend? Taylor Morse. I guess you're talking about the U.S., right? MLS. It's actually a very good question why they don't spend. I'm going to address it in this Sunday's video. This Sunday's video is all about what can we do to win the CONCACAF Champions League, to make MLS a greater spending league, why we won't, what the solutions are, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to do a whole video about it. I'm going to cover it more in depth because it's not a simple problem, right? It's not black and white. It's complicated. And, there are some simple answers, but I want to give you a more nuanced answer. So I will address that on Sunday. What is Timo Werner doing?
Someone asked here in the chat that I saw. I was going to respond to it. In my channel, I would have not make fun of him, but make fun of the topic. He was asking, why does Mexico constantly underperform in World Cups? Well, my answer to is, I don't think they underperform. I think they get exactly what they're supposed to. I think they're a round of 16 team. I guess sometimes they could make it to the quarterfinals. Maybe some teams are good that they had, but they always face Brazil. Yeah.
Depends on the draw, but they should, honestly. Who did they lose? They lost to Brazil in 2014, right?
No, 18. 14 was Argentina, I believe.
I thought, they played Brazil in the
played Brazil
in the group
Mexico
stage.
Played Brazil in the group stage. They tied 0-0. It was 0. Ochoa was the man of the match.
That's right. I remember that. That was Ochoa's coming out party. He was so good in that World Cup. And, honestly, they haven't replaced Ochoa yet. And their number 2, Ochoa is 36 now, right? And their number 2 is Talavera, who's 39. So they don't really have a good replacement in Mexico for Ochoa.
And we got the good Ochoa now.
Yeah, and now we have the Ochoa. We just have to make sure Mexico doesn't try to come recruit him, But he went to a U20 World Cup with us. He played for us in the U23 qualifiers. He can't say he's been neglected by the U.S. for sure. He can't say that he's been ignored by the U.S. program. So. Oh, yeah. No era penal, Netherlands. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if they would have beat the Netherlands, but that Robin penalty was pretty harsh. But you know what? That happens to lots of teams at the World Cup, right? Mm-hmm. But decisions go against you. Look at the U.S. The U.S. would have been in a semifinal if there was VAR. When we played Germany in the quarterfinal of 2002, Greg Berhalter, believe it or not, shot on target. It went past Oliver Kahn. And Torsten Frings was standing on the goal line with his arms out like this, and the ball smacked his arm, and the referee didn't see it. Otherwise, that would have been a penalty. So now you're telling me, so we get mad about that? We would have been in a semifinal. And you know who we would have played in the semifinal? South Korea. So maybe the 2002 World Cup final, if one decision had gone our way, could have been Brazil versus the United States. Okay? But you don't hear American fans talking about that.
How would you feel about that American team facing Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and Ronaldo?
They would have gotten destroyed, but it doesn't matter, right? Because
it would have been beautiful already.
Just the fact that we got there, even if we got there and lost 4-0, it still would have been an amazing success for the U.S. and honestly would have done a lot for soccer in this country. If you think about the U.S. going to a World Cup final, a lot more fans would have gotten into the game, I think. It would have given us a false sense of security of how good we were, for sure, because we weren't that good. But at the end of the day, you don't hear us talking about that. Mexican fans are still bringing up the Netherlands. We're not talking about it because we understand that the game, sometimes you don't get those decisions right. So, it's not the end of the world.
They forget too, even in I believe it was 2010, England was also robbed against Germany because there was no VAR. The goal from Frank Lampard that went in, it was 2000. Yeah. And no one, they're not complaining about. Mexico's the only country that complains after 2 decades later, they're still complaining about that.
They're still complaining. Exactly. And what's funny to me about L3 fans is if, they always talk about we didn't qualify for 2018. But they never forget that in 2014, they needed Graham Zusi to head the ball into the net. Otherwise, they would not have gone to the World Cup. And that would have been way worse. For Mexico to not go to a World Cup, can you imagine the repercussions from the media and the fans?
Civil war there.
Disaster for them. Huge disaster. And the next day in the papers, they've got pictures of Chicharito. Is Pulisic coming on?
Pulisic's warming up, guys. And pretty intense warm-up.
Is that Pulisic?
I think it's him. Let me go back.
At least the guy I'm seeing is not Pulisic. Maybe you are ahead of me. That's why.
Well, let me go back here. Did I see it wrong? Well, if it's not him, there's 2 guys warming up pretty heavy there. They're already doing more intense.
Oh, how does he miss that? Oh, I mean, I guess it wasn't that easy, but could have at least put it on target.
It also Mason Mount, good player, but he's not known for being a clinical finisher. A good Timo Werner would have missed too, probably.
It was actually, it was actually a tougher goal than he had. Courtois came out really big, but also he had pressure to his left, so he could have done better, but it wasn't as bad as it looked the first time.
He should have done the Messi move, little chip.
Yeah, that's so that's technique right there. Messi under pressure with time and space compressed can still pull off a little chip. So,
oh crap! They're asking, doesn't Tact have to go to work? You guys are absolutely right, and I'm sorry, Pete. I'm gonna head there. I'm gonna try to watch it on my phone here. Guys, thank you everyone that watched at our channel. Thank you everyone that's here as well. One thing that Pete always forgets to say, I don't know why he forgets this. Hit the like button, everyone. It helps the channel.
I said it. I said it this time. I think
hit
so.
The like. Okay, look. Before I leave, hit the like button. I'm asking you guys right now. All right, Pete, I'm going to head out. Thank you very much again, Pete.
Thanks, Filippo. Good luck at work. Go create the next Pulisic for us.
Oh, man, I don't think I'm going to give it. We'll try. I'm out.
All right, take care, dude. All right, guys, just us now. Tact, have them run laps until you get there. Just make them all watch the game for class today. That'll be good education. All right. Keep those questions coming, guys. I'm going to go back and forth between watching and answering questions. So Taylor Morse. Yeah, I will deal with the why don't they spend topic in Sunday's video. American Soccer United. Rio equalize and then Pulisic to score the winner. Wouldn't that be so great to score both winners or in both games, one to get the draw and one to get the win? That would be awesome. That would be big moment for American soccer. Is VAR good or bad? Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Okay, sorry. Yeah, let me finish my thought. God Kong Snake. What were you saying about if Mexico missed the World Cup? It would have been a huge disaster if they'd missed the World Cup, and it would have been really bad for football in that country. But, the heads of the federations would have been fired. The players would have been crucified. Chicharito was in his prime, A lot of these guys were. It would have been a massive, massive disaster for them. So, okay. Would you rather win Gold Cup or Nations League? Okay. Swift Cross. It depends where we bring our first team. If we bring our A team to Nations League, I would rather win the Nations League because that's our A team. And I think beating Mexico in a final to win the first ever Nations League would be really good for the program. And then that will allow us to take more of a B team to the Gold Cup and give them some experience. But not winning the Nations League puts more pressure on Berhalter and the boys to win the Gold Cup. So I'd rather win the Nations League. Connor Nolan. So Pete, are Leeds the English team you support? And if so, why? They're actually not. I don't have a team in Europe that I support like I love this particular team. I have soft spots for certain teams. I like the way that Borussia Dortmund do business. They're also the team that developed Pulisic and Reina. So I have a very soft spot for them. But, I'm probably going to be watching, Leipzig and Adams at, I'm sorry, what's his name? Jesse Marsch and Adams at Leipzig this season. So, yeah, just sort of, I don't really have a team that I support. I used to be a big Man United fan when I was a teenager, but once Ferguson left, it was just a disaster. And I couldn't, I also have no ties to the club. It's not like I'm from there. I don't have family who supported it. It was just, I was a team I identified with when they had Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez. It was a great team. And the way that Ferguson's teams always played with so much spirit and so much intensity and always found a way to win, even if it was in Fergie time. I know you're not going to like to hear that if you're a Leeds fan. Are you a Leeds fan, Connor? All right. From Hayden, what are your thoughts on Brad Guzan? Finished. Shouldn't be anywhere near the national team. Okay. He's been on decline for about 5 years now and has been showing it. So for me, should not be involved. 36 years old. He was never that good a keeper. He was only decent and he's gotten worse since the last 5 years. So no, I don't think he should be anywhere near the national team program. Who's your favorite USMNT player in the last 20 years? Dempsey. Dempsey combined that technical. He was a very technical player with that never say die attitude of, he was competitive. He is Texan, right? He's from Nacogdoches, Texas. He has that American spirit, that mentality of like, we're not going to go down without a fight. He always believed in himself, was a little bit combative, but I think that's what gave him an edge. And just the beating he took when he was in Europe, where he would play at Fulham and he would convince a manager to play him and he would be playing well. And then a new manager would come in and send him to the reserves because he was American. And he had to earn his spot again and convince the guy that he was, deserved to play. So, Pete, my friend, I support the championship giants of Coventry City. Hey, championship is probably still better than MLS. What is going on? How does Havertz not finish that? Oh, no. What do you think of Cam Harper from Red Bull New York? Christian Oscana. I've not seen him play. I saw 20 minutes of his against LA Galaxy. He seemed okay. I need to see more of him before I judge him, though. Oh, crazy, huh? How did Havertz miss that? The Germans today. Is that Havertz's third goal he's missed? Because he's hit the crossbar twice, right? Man, they may rue those misses. Where's Pulisic? 60th minute. Come on. Yeah, of course Pulisic would have scored that. Get out of here. Nick Vincent. Oh, Jeffrey. Pete, when you coming to New York so we can get drinks? Who knows, man? Maybe soon. Sorry, Nick Vincent, you had a good question. Thoughts on Jose Mourinho impact of Brian Reynolds at Roma? Disaster. He's not going to do any attacking. If he plays him at all, first, Jose doesn't like young players. Second, Jose wants to defend the whole game. If Brian Reynolds tries to bomb up the field, which is his instinct, he's more of an attacking player, Jose is going to get mad and sit him. I don't understand why they gave Jose Mourinho the job. The guy used to be good, and then, football has moved on, and it's moved on for the last 10 years. And all he wants to do is sit back and defend. Okay, he's not a good coach anymore. He shouldn't be coaching at the highest level. Maybe for a national team, okay, but don't get me started on Mourinho. I think one of the most overhyped, overrated managers in the game, in my opinion. All right. Chelsea are losing their legs. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's time to bring on, I don't know, some American. I hear there's some American who could do a good job. Do you have any plans, from Adam Grimm, on attending either Nations League games in June? I'm not planning to attend them, no. Guys, attending the games would be tough because Filippo and I want to do, not live streams during the game. So you can't really do that from a stadium. So if you want us to hang out with you during the game and do post-game and pre-game shows, we can't really be there live, So, yeah, it's getting a little chippy here, huh? All right. We'll let you go, Pete. Thanks, Hayden. I appreciate it. Maybe Qatar. Maybe one day, maybe Filippo and I will go report live from Qatar if we can do this full time by then and if we can afford it. Wow. How is that not a red card for both of them? Jeez. Did he even get a yellow? Okay, so Nacho got a yellow. Did Mount, was that Mount on the floor? Did Mount get a yellow too? Adam Grimm, dang, I got my tickets and was hoping to meet up sometime. Hopefully another time. No worries, Adam. Where do you live? Do you live in Colorado? Are you from Denver? I know Isaiah Paskins is from Denver. Qatar to go watch camel racing. I've been to Dubai. I haven't been to Qatar, though. When is Tactical Yanks merch coming? I don't know about Tactical, but 11 Yanks, we have merch after the Nations League. We have some merch dropping on the 11 Yanks channel. So that will come in June. Looking forward to that, guys. So we're going to have some that's 11 Yanks merch with our logo on it, and then just something that is more USMNT focused and specific. So we'll have both options. You guys let me know. If you guys want merch, let me know what you want, because that helps me to think about, what options we have and what people actually will spend money on. So let me know if you have any ideas or thoughts. Pete, have you ever met any USMNT players in person? past or current players? No, I haven't. Who have I met? I did coach Jesse Gonzalez from FC Dallas. He's not playing for FC Dallas anymore. He was their goalkeeper for a while. And when I did my D license, it was in Dallas. I did my D license there. Luchi Gonzalez was actually running the session, the current Dallas coach. And we did a session on training goalkeepers. And so I did a session where I had to train Jesse Gonzalez. So that was kind of fun to do. It was good to see him get a spot in the first team for a little while, but sad that he's no longer playing because of domestic violence. So that's not good. So you're who we have to blame for Gonzalez flopping. All right, Ken to King. Thanks, Ken. Remember Klinsmann's prediction, Pulisic goal by assist from Werner, if only, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, Klinsmann still loves the U.S., huh? I guess his wife is American. He still feels an affinity to the U.S., so that's good to see that he's not bitter. Just not a tactical coach, Klinsmann. Yeah, they need Pulisic in this game now. It's crazy. Come on, bring him on. 64th minute. Just you watch. The game, Tuchel is going to say, well, there was a slight injury. We weren't really sure, so we decided to leave him out. Because it's crazy that it's 64 minutes in and we still haven't seen Pulisic after he was the best player in the last game. So now if Real Madrid score, does it go to over? Does anybody know? Does it go to overtime or is it straight to penalties? Right? Because if it's 1-1, then that would be 2-2 and no away goals because it'd be even. Yeah, I don't know. If anybody knows, is there overtime or not? Because I've got this on mute. So there is extra time. Okay. Yeah, maybe bring on Pulisic for extra time if Real Madrid score. But all right, Werner with the counter. He's dribbling. He's 1v1. He has to take it. Oh, it's 3v2. It's 3v2. They have to score this. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Was that Conte? Hard to see the angle, but it looks like 1v1 with the keeper. You have to score. That was a very good three. See, this is what I was talking about, guys. When Real Madrid comes streaming forward, then, they're going to leave holes at the back for the counter. And that's exactly what we saw, a 3v2 breakaway. And they have to finish that. They have to finish that. Pulisic coming on. No spoilers. I mean, that one's fine. But don't spoil any goals or assists or anything. I'll bet you if that's Pulisic, he finishes that. Could be wrong, though. Could be wrong. All right. They've had so many chances. Real Madrid or Barcelona? Definitely Barcelona, Rodney. Thanks, Ken the King. Altidore doesn't miss that chance. Oh, my God. Altidore puts that chance in the stands. And then blames... Who did he blame for it? Taylor Twellman. He would put that in the stands and then say it was Taylor Twellman's fault because he's a white boy with connects. That's exactly what he would say. All right. Timo Werner is apparently coming off. I haven't seen it yet. But according to you guys. Andy Garcia. I know this is way back, but the USMNT had a lost golden generation during the early 1900s that is forgotten. What? Did the Cold War have a huge impact on soccer in the U.S.? Yes, it did. For sure. I think it did. I think the Cold War had an impact on soccer in the U.S. because it was considered that communist sport that the communists played, which is just a really weird mentality. All right, so Pulisic on for Werner in the 67th minute. Let's see what he can do. All right. Give me that Pulisic. Yeah. All right, Werner. Well, you still got a goal. Should have had a few more. Or at least Chelsea should have had a few more. I think Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, and Conte are more responsible for missing those chances than Werner. But hey, if they can hold on to this 1-0 lead, then they'll go through. So, Stalin commenting on the Cold War. Any good sites for the game? Lance Tanwi, I can't give out like streaming sites that are illegal because I'll get banned by YouTube. Jeffrey, would you have fired Klinsmann after losing the first 2 games of World Cup qualifying? I think he would have qualified for Russia. I disagree, Jeff. I think he should have been fired sooner. Klinsmann was not a tactical coach. He was never a tactical coach. And he was so high intensity and created such a toxic atmosphere within the dressing room that you could tell, like once a coach has lost the team, which Klinsmann did, it's very hard for them to recover. So I still would have fired him. And to be honest, I don't know that Bruce Arena was the best option to replace him, but I get why they did it. And hindsight is always 2020. There's no reason why we shouldn't have won that TNT game. I don't even put that on Bruce Arena, to be honest. A lot of people are mad at Bruce Arena. They should have won that game. They should have won that game, even with the personnel on the field. I put it more on the players because the players just looked like they didn't care. You know, they looked like they were just waiting for somebody else to get a win so they could go through automatically. I guess that's definitely partly on the coach, for sure. But I put more blame on the players. Okay. Also, the other thing, Jeff, is that Klinsmann was not successful at Bayern. Did you ever read who's that German right back? Oh, I can't remember his name. He was the small guy who played for Bayern Munich, and he won the World Cup in 2014 with Germany. Anybody remember what his name was? He played at Bayern for a long time. He was the German captain. Okay. Philipp Lahm. Philipp Lahm said that within 2 weeks of him joining Bayern as the coach, they knew it wasn't going to work. This guy had no idea what he was doing. Okay. Tactically clueless. And they had meetings in the dressing room before the game to figure out how they were going to play because Klinsmann was terrible. And we've heard this over and over again, right? We've heard this Hertha Berlin, same problem, right? Bayern Munich, same problem. And it only worked for Germany because he had Jogi Löw as his assistant. When you have a really strong assistant coach who's a very good tactical mind, then it could work. But he didn't have that with the U.S. He's not really a coach. He's an inspirationalist. He's a guy who's, remember all of his like pep talks, guys, we got to go step on their toes. We got to make them uncomfortable because if you're too comfortable, that's you're going to lose it, you know? So I gotta talk to the guys. I got to tell them, guys, you gotta really get out there and show them that you're here to play and step on the, remember they asked somebody, what was I think it was Pulisic. During the Copa America, he came on in halftime against Argentina. And he said, what was the tactical instructions that Klinsmann said? And he said, oh, he told us to step on their toes. Come on. That's not a coach. Okay. Have you ever read the Ringer article that talks about the U.S. World Cup qualifying failure? Goes behind the scenes and JK was a problem from the start. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't read that, but that doesn't surprise me at all. I've read other exposés on it. Yeah, JK was Jurgen Klinsmann was a huge problem. He's a snake oil salesman, guys. He was never a good coach. I would have been fine with him as a technical director because he was pushing the program in the right direction. He was demanding more accountability and more players putting themselves out there, going to Europe. He was demanding more, and I liked that. But in terms of the X's and O's of tactics on the field, oh yeah, let's foul Pulisic again. Look at this. Been on the field for not even 4 minutes, and he's already drawn a yellow card for a Real Madrid player. That's how good this guy is. Beating his guys 1v1. Oh, come on. Is that Nacho? Oh, it's Cruz. Of course it is. Thank you, Paul. Connor Nolan says, Klinsmann is such a good coach. He was a great striker as a player, and his son ended up as a goalkeeper. His son's not even a good goalkeeper. Yeah, Jonathan Klinsmann is terrible. Ask LA Galaxy fans about Jonathan Klinsmann. Why can't the U.S. have a good coach? Because of our federation, God Kong Snake. We'd rather have a yes man than a good coach. Oh, Pulisic running them ragged. Did he just win a corner? Yeah. Yeah, he did. Thank you, Connor. And thank you, Paul. All right. Pulisic comes on. Exactly. Jonathan. Pulisic comes on and is immediately Chelsea's best player. Yep. Yes, they did. No spoilers, guys, if they score from the corner. Oh! Who was that? Oh, Thiago. Man, Thiago had to finish that. Let me see it again. Unmarked. Oh, it wasn't as easy as it looked, but should have at least put it on target. Yeah, should have done better with that. All right. Come on, Pulisic. Pulisic immediately looks like the best player, doesn't he? Like, he comes on, he's an attacking spark. Why wasn't he on from the beginning? I don't understand. I really, really don't. Come on, Christian. All right, keep those questions coming, guys. I'll go back and forth. I just want to see Christian play. So I'll go back and forth between answering questions and Pulisic should have started the game. No reason. I agree, guys. Are we overhyping Pulisic? It depends, Kevin, how you're hyping him. In terms of being the best player on the field right now, no, I don't think so. Like, look what he's done since he's come on the field. He's already beat several guys on the dribble and put a cross in. He's already got it fouled and earned a yellow card for another player and looks the most dangerous guy already. I am on Fubo TV with you, Pharrell. So whatever you're seeing, I'm seeing. I think I'm about 30 seconds behind, guys. So if there's a interesting development, I'm behind, so don't spoil anything for me, okay? Just keep quiet until I say it, and then you can talk about it. Do you think Pulisic will start the final, or will the coach come up with some BS? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. We'll see. We thought he would start this game for sure, especially after he didn't play a single minute against Fulham. I thought for sure Pulisic would start this game. Apparently, however, not. So, where should Gio Reyna go? Oh, nope, that's he better. Man, the chat moves so fast. So fast. Mark Van Bommel also said Klinsmann wasn't a good coach. Yeah, a lot of people said that. The Europeans warned us about this when we hired him. But he had a cool accent and he had a cool career. And to be fair, he did well with Germany, but we didn't understand the nuances of that, So that's what caused us to do it. Would love to see Reyna at Arsenal. Yeah, I can see that, but I'd rather him go to a club that's going to compete for trophies, or a club that's at least in the Champions League, Connor. Does Pulisic have stamina issues? No, I don't think he's got fitness issues, if that's what you're talking about. He's very fit, but, he's just a little injury prone sometimes. All right. What if Pulisic supported Croatia? That would have been a disaster. Can you imagine if he had picked Pete? I will get a t-shirt or hoodie, size M. Excited for the merch. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, we're going to have t-shirts for sure. So hoodies we'll probably do later in the year, like maybe when fall hits. Then we'll get, we'll do hoodies. So we'll probably do like 2 or 3 times a year. We'll add new merch. And then you guys can use that as a way to support the channel and get some cool merch to help support the USMNT and American soccer in general. Come on, Pulisic. Pulisic cooked Ramos. Where would be a good landing spot for Gio Reyna? Pulisic. Is this him cooking Ramos here? Stop spoiling things. Oh, God, that should have been a goal. The cross from Pulisic. Who was late to finish it? Oh, did Mount just give that away in the box? Come on. Oh, come on. I want to see that again because he just cooked Sergio Ramos and then put a cross in. Who was sliding in that didn't get to the ball? I couldn't quite tell. Was it Havertz? Oh, here's Pulisic again. Isn't it amazing how much better they look with Pulisic on the field? It's like chance after chance now. Come on. Oh, what do you slow it down too much now, Puli? Oh, that wasn't good. That was poor. Got to be quicker. Is this Christian's audition for Madrid? Hell no. Stay out of Madrid, Christian. Don't even go there. I don't want any Americans in Real Madrid. Toxic club. Not interested in player development. Not interested in doing what's best for the player. Toxic mentality. Toxic club. Hell no. Bunch of Galacticos. All right. Connor Nolan. Ramos being grilled, marinated, plucked, stuffed, roasted, and eaten by this American chap. He's rather good, isn't he? I heard you say that in an Irish accent, Connor. All right. Yeah, but Ray Puma, so many wingers have gone to Madrid and been a complete flop there. Pulisic's mentality is still something he's developing when things are not going his way. And in some clubs, the fans, and they will, not just the fans, but, the club itself will be very supportive when a player is going through a rough time. In Real Madrid, it's not like that. In Real Madrid, they turn on you. They're very treacherous. They will turn on you very quickly if you're not performing at a high level. And I'm just not sure that Pulisic's a little frail mentally sometimes, and I'm not sure he's ready for that. He needs a team and a coach and a fan base that believes in him, even when things are not going so well, which will happen, right? Here he is. So he cooks Ramos. I'm on the replay. Oh, it was Havertz. Yeah, it was Havertz. Come on, press Courtois. Press him. What are you doing? Puli. Press him next time. Okay. Yeah, look what they did to James or even Bale that helped them win 4 champions. Exactly. It's not the club for an American. I don't think so. All right, Peter Chen. Why do you think Pulisic didn't start today? Didn't he sit it out the last Premier League match? Yeah, we talked about this a little bit over on Filippo's stream. We don't know. We really don't. For some reason, Tuchel believed that, the team was better off without him starting. I don't think it was about yellow cards. That's my personal opinion. But we don't know what he was thinking, right? It's hard to second guess that decision. Pete, you should be the coach of the U.S. Hell no. That would not go well at all. Look, it's one thing to know this stuff in your head, right? It's one thing to have ideas and opinions about how the team should play. But transmitting that to a group of players is a very different, especially at that level, right? There also has to be a certain respect from the players, okay? I've never played professionally. And I know not everybody has, but it's harder for anybody to think, oh, you can coach it's easy to think you can coach, right? Coaching is not as simple as it looks. And it's easy to think, oh, I know tactics, I know the game, I know this. But then getting the players to believe in you and to respect you enough to listen to you and take your advice is a very different story. And that's why all coaches should start at lower levels, in my opinion, and work their way up, even if they were a great player. So that's just my opinion. But no, I would be a terrible USMNT coach. You'd have guys here on the channel, talking about how awful Pete Douthit is as the coach and how tactically he's clueless and no idea what he's doing. That's being a national team coach is tough, man. It really is. Bad pass by Pulisic, not enough on it. Not sure which pass you're talking about there. I could be behind a little. 10 minutes left. Are we going to have an American versus an American in the final? Pulisic versus Stefan. I know Stefan's not going to play, but it'll be interesting. Come on. Pulisic. All right, this might be the one you're talking about here. Oh, yeah, that was a poor pass. Was a poor pass. See, Pulisic's reaction sometimes. So get on with it. Don't put your hands on your head. Get on with it. Don't get frustrated. That's my thing, is come on. Mentally, you've got to stay. You got to shrug off the mistakes. They're going to come, and you just have to shrug them off quickly. We see this with too many players, even Reina sometimes. They make a mistake, and oh, no, they cover their eyes, and they react. It takes 5-6 seconds for them to get over it. It's the worst thing in the world. You're not, okay, you missed it. Don't worry. Next one. You know what I mean? That's the mentality good players have, in my opinion. You can't the mental game is huge in football, right? Huge. You can't, mentally, you have to be so tough, and super confident. And you have to have a little bit of swag to you. I think that's something that some of the young Americans do not have yet. They're very young, so they'll learn, hopefully, over time. Is Perez depositing money into his 12 players account right now? All right. Come on, guys. 8 minutes left here. Yeah, Pharrell. He's 18 years old. Exactly. If Chelsea can do it with Havertz and Werner up top, we can do it with Sargent. Exactly. Matthew Reynolds is terrible. If Greg gets fired for beating his dog tomorrow, the best coach to replace him would be Matarazzo, but I'm not sure he'd want the job. However, Greg isn't going to get fired. Yes, he isn't. You're right. I'm not sure it would be. I think the best coach would be Jesse Marsch, in my opinion. Matarazzo might be the best coach, but for me, he's only been a head coach for 2 or 3 years. I think 2 years now. That's not enough for me to give you a national team job. For me, you need a little bit more experience at more than one club at head coach before we give you the national team job. Which is yet another reason why we should not have hired Greg Berhalter, but what do I know, right? Six minutes. Jesse would actually have the balls to get in the player's face. Yeah, I mean, I would have concerns with Jesse Marsch too. The problem is that Jesse, in my opinion, my concerns with Jesse are that he's tactically a little inflexible. That's just my opinion. But I'm glad he's going to Leipzig. We'll be able to shine more of a light on his tactics because it's very hard to find Austrian games. We only really got to see him in the Champions League, but he's going to be put under more pressure in Germany. So it'll be interesting to see how he does there. But even if he fails at Leipzig or doesn't perform well, it doesn't mean he's a bad coach. It's a learning experience for him. Okay. Someone is saying watch, so I am watching. No spoilers. I'm not even looking at the computer. All right. Right now I see Zidane's bald head. It's a goal kick from Mendy. Header. Header again. What on earth? Pulisic and... Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, yes. Pulisic assist. Pulisic to Mason Mount. 2-0. Chelsea go through. Woo! Should have had him on from the beginning. I thought he ruined the chance, but he was so calm and composed there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So Chelsea, Manchester City in the final. Come on. Or as the Brits would say, get in. Hell yeah. Christian Pulisic and Mason Mount. Pulisic comes on and within 14 minutes has earned a yellow card for the opponent, gotten an assist, created several other opportunities. Well done, Christian. Come on, show the replay. All right, so loose ball by Conte. It's 3v2, see? 3v2, Ramos. Look how calm Pulisic is. To just slot that. Okay, so it's 3v2 here. Ramos goes to close down. Oh, but look at that. Ramos can't recover quickly enough. And then he just picks out Mason Mount's run. Well done, Christian. Precision. He shook off the last poor pass that he made. Well done. Well done, Christian. Hell yeah. Oh, guys, feels good to be American right now, doesn't it? I'm glad we did the second half here in non-Filipos, so we get to do the second half with us. Oh, poor Modric does not look happy. You won like 6 Champions League. You're going to be fine. Yeah, it was a nice run by Mason Mount. It was. And Pulisic didn't put it to where he was. He put it to where he knew Mason Mount was going. And that's where it really goes. Kudos to him. I think Pulisic should get man of the match, even though he hasn't played the full game, because he's been really good. Mount has been okay too. He's been good too. But that's probably the American in me speaking. So one American player will win the Champions League. Will it be Zach Steffen or Christian Pulisic? We will see. All right. We're going to need that calmness from Christian Pulisic in Nations League. We're going to need him to beat Mexico in the final. Dominican stud. Tyler Adams and Christian Pulisic make me so proud to be an American soccer fan. I'm with you on that. Oh, did Valverde get carded now? Or was it Mount? Andy Garcia. Should Allegri be hired if Greg is fired? I don't think Allegri fits in with the American. I don't think Allegri would be the kind of guy you want coaching the USMNT. You know, I just don't think his philosophy and his style of play and to coach in America, you don't have to be American, but you do have to understand the game here. You have to understand because you're the face of the team. You go and you do press conferences, and I just don't know that Allegri is. I could be wrong. I wouldn't want Allegri. I think if we're going to get a foreign coach, there's way better foreign coaches, like Lopetegui, for example, in my opinion, a way better coach. Not that he would take it now. He would have gotten it, you know, if we'd given it to him. He asked at least for an interview, but we said no because we wanted, you know, Jay's brother to get the job. All right, so now Hakim Ziyech. Is it Ziyech or Ziyech? Pulisic Champions League final masterclass incoming. If Tuchel starts him, he may not start him, so we don't know. We don't know yet, do we? All right. Come on. I'm in the 88th minute. So, are you thinking of going to Qatar World Cup if they allow fans? I don't know, LOL, folks. It's not so much. I think they will allow fans by then. There's no way they won't. But it's more about, can I afford it? That's going to be the real issue, you know, because it's not just taking time off work to go. It's also having to afford the tickets and all of that. So we will see. We will see. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of going to Qatar. I'm not really a fan of what they've done. So Hazard, who has done nothing today, Pulisic gets the assist. And it will be another all-English final. Didn't we have an all-English final 2 years ago? It was Liverpool versus Tottenham. What was that? 2019, right? Wasn't it 2019 that was Liverpool versus Tottenham? And then 2020 was PSG versus Bayern? That's what I thought it was, at least. All right. Come on. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Pulisic, again, making life difficult. Whoa! Jesus. Is that another yellow? Pulisic's been on for 20 minutes, and he's earned 2 yellow cards for opponents already. Okay? That's insane to me. That's how good this guy is. The only way to stop him is to foul him. So he skips past Modric, and then Valverde just runs into him. What an idiot. Stop trying to kill our American. Sorry. Got a little emotional there. Okay. Ken to King. Everyone should know by now that Pulisic has been a big game player since he stepped on a pitch at 17. Can't believe an American is guaranteed a UEFA Champions League. Yeah, that's crazy. We haven't had it since Kirovsky in the 90s. Did they foul Pulisic again? What? All right, stay focused. I'm in extra time now. We got 4 minutes left. Yeah, I agree, Ken. When he's fit and firing, he is a big game player, right? He will be a huge threat. When he's low on confidence or things are not going well for him, that's still where he struggles. What Pulisic has to do to be a world-class player, Ballon d'Or candidate, is to take this form that he has right now and make that his baseline, not his exceptional play. If he can play like this for 2 years straight and this level of play is his baseline, then he'll be a world-class player and could even contend for a Ballon d'Or, or at least be a nominee for a Ballon d'Or. But right now, it's inconsistent. We see a good end of season from Pulisic, poor start to the season, up and down. And part of that is injuries. Part of that is he needs to learn to never get too high and never get too low, right? So right now, when he's confident, he can do anything he wants. Remember him against Liverpool? He came on as a sub and just destroyed them last season. But then when things are not going well, he struggles even with the basics sometimes. He can't even pull off the basics. And that's true of a lot of players. It's not just Pulisic. But if he wants to be truly world-class, he's got to be playing at a whole nother level and make that consistent. Make that his baseline. All right. Frank Kassler. I don't think the USMNT should be a possession team. I think we'd be more dangerous as a counter-attacking team. So it's an interesting point that you make, Frank. All right, game over. No? No. Sorry, my bad. What happened? They just blow the whistle? Oh, it's a free kick of some kind? Okay. I think we have to be an adaptable team, Frank. So it depends who we're playing. If we're playing France, yeah, I think would probably set up to be more counter-attacking. But if we're playing Honduras, we should absolutely be a possession team, right? There's no reason why we shouldn't be dominating those games. At least that's my opinion. Ooh, is that a foul? No. That's my opinion, is that we have to be flexible and adaptable. But yes, against really big teams, we can be a little more. It's not so much just counter-attacking. We can even be a high-pressing team. You can even press France high and use that as your attack. No problems with that. But we should definitely be a dominating possession team when we're facing anybody in CONCACAF, including Mexico. Okay? So, all right. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left, guys. And thank you, Frank. And that's a good point, honestly. I think a lot of our players, they suit a possession game, a counter-attacking game better than they do a possession one. Pulisic is more lethal on the counter, right? Gio Reyna, in my opinion, is more lethal on the counter. But we can't be a counter team against CONCACAF teams or even middling teams in the world. We should still be a dominant team. Okay? Why they sub in players with like 30 seconds left? Thank you, Frank. Taylor, to waste time. They're not subbing them in. They're subbing them in to take the sting out of the game and waste more time. So, all right. You guys doing a live watch along for the final? You know, we hadn't thought about it, but if there's 2 Americans in it, maybe I'll talk to Filippo. It's a good idea. It's going to be the day before the Switzerland game. So the Champions League final is the 29th, and the Switzerland game is on the 30th. So maybe. All right. We're in the final. Game over. Well done. America, America, God shed his grace on thee. All right. I'm not going to sing it. Don't worry. We did it, guys. So Pulisic versus Stefan in the final. Will any of them start? That's the real question. So anyways, this has been really awesome, guys. I'm going to wait another minute or two. If you have any more questions, send them in, and then I'm going to get going here. Okay? Wow. What a game. Hang on one sec. Sorry about that. All right, guys. Well, this has been really fun. I hope he starts in the final. I think he deserves to. He put Real Madrid to the sword twice, once with a goal and once with an assist. So I hope he starts the final. But thanks for coming to hang out with me, guys. This is awesome. We have 2 Americans in the final. It's going to be amazing. You guys are cool. Next video is out on Sunday. So that's not going to be a live hangout. That's going to be a video to make up for today, which was supposed to be a video. So, all right. Go do your things, guys. I'll talk to you soon. And don't forget, download OneFootball, the app. Description below. Link in the description below. Talk soon.